So today we're going to be installing carbon bars on the MSA 60 and the MS 170. I figured I'd bring you along for the ride just in case you've been thinking about doing the same or maybe never changed your bar. You can see what goes on. Of course, the MSA 60 is already a quarter pitch, which is required for the dime tip carbon bars. So that one you don't have to change the sprocket, but the 170 you have to change the clutch sprocket to a quarter pitch. But I'll let you see the part numbers here. This is the MSA 60. That's the bar that still recommends for it. And that is the chain. Now for the MS 170, 180, I'm sure other models. That is the bar number. That's the clutch sprocket number. And that is the chain. The only difference is for the MSA 60 is a .043, and the 170 it's a .050. But I'm going to go ahead and get set up on the tripod, and we'll get into breaking these things down and show you what you need to do. Now for the MSA 60, it's a little easier. It's got the quick adjust. You don't have to change the sprocket, but always when you're working on the saw, take the battery out. You don't need any mishaps. So we're going to go ahead and loosen the quick adjust, remove the cover, loosen up our tension, and remove the bar and chain. Now on these, like I said, they are the quick adjust. So it has a little screw in the back that always faces the saw, and it's always down. So whether you're swapping your bar, flipping it, just remove that little screw, flip it over, make sure it's in the bottom again, and facing the saw and reinstall it. But we need to swap that over to the new bar. So we're going to go ahead and take that little screw out. Set it in a secure place because it's small and you will lose it. I'll set that bar and chain to the side. The first thing you want to do is get your quick adjuster on. Now, this one being stopped, we're going to face it, with the letters up. But this goes onto the front. The little screw goes onto the back, and like I said, it goes onto the bottom hole. Just get it started. I find that you don't have to over torque these, just make them snug. I've never had one come loose. And there's that. Now make sure your cutting teeth are facing the right way on your chain. If I can get it to focus in here. I mean, what you're looking for is the angled part of the chain. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully, oh, there we go. Hopefully you can. So you want the angled part facing forward. So go ahead and get it started on your bar. I find it a little easier to set the saws on the side. Get it over the back sprocket, set it down over your adjuster, and get it snugged up till we get it back together. Now if you have a problem getting the cover back on, most of the time it's because the adjuster here isn't setting in the grooves. Go ahead and get that semi-snug down. Now with these carbon bars, you need to run slack in them. They have no sprocket in the tip Yeah, they have no sprocket in the tip, so you need to run them loose. Definitely want a little sag in them. Don't run them like your normal chain. And then always just make sure, you know, it turns free. Set it in, readjust it if you have to. Sometimes when you turn them a couple times, it'll settle, man, and you'll see it, like that one gained a lot more slack after I turned it a couple times. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. Like I said, you need to cut down on the friction of the tip of the bar. So run it loose. Also, if your saw is not a heavy oiler, you know, it wouldn't hurt to keep a dip bucket that you can, you know, dip the tip in every now and again. And reinstall the battery. And you're ready to go. Now for the 170, it's a little different. I'm going to go ahead and use the scrunch. Get the cover off. Pull your bar forward to get it off the adjuster. That's the easy part. Now with this one, we have to change the clutch sprocket. And you can see there is a C-clip. You pop that off, remove the washer, remove the sprocket. I'll get that popped off and I'll show you a little more here. I just use a screwdriver to get in there with the C-clip. Always hold your finger there so it doesn't go flying across your shop or wherever. But just keep them together, set them to the side, wiggle your sprocket a little bit and it'll come up. Now there is a roller bearing that goes inside the clutch. Sometimes the clutches come with new ones, sometimes not. It's best to give them a little light grease. The other thing to note on these, this is the 6-tooth sprocket. I'll show you on the old one here. This is a 3/8 pitch, but what you have to watch for is this little notch right here. That runs your oiler. So if you look down beside the clutch, you'll see a little wire looking piece coming out. Make sure you line them two up when you put the new clutch back on. But line that up with your slot. Sometimes you gotta turn a little bit. If it doesn't drop down, you didn't get it. Don't force it, but bend it. Now that one we got it. And that's what runs your oiler on these. Put your washer back on, line your C-clip up. You can use a pair of pliers, whatever. I just take the end of my screwdriver there and put it back in. And then there you have it. I mean, now you're running a 1/4 pitch sprocket. And then it's pretty much the same process as the other one I showed you. The other thing I always do is back off your adjuster screw a little bit. That'll give you some slack to line your pin back up. Again, make sure which way your chain's running. You don't want to run it backwards. Chain on the bar. Same thing. I normally set it to its side. Drop it on your back sprocket. Bring it up. Now it's important to make sure your adjuster pin lines up. Now this one has to go back even more than what I did it. Get it on your adjuster pin. Take your side cover, do have a notch that this sits in back there that helps you line things up. Get your adjuster nuts back on. And same thing with this. You want to run slack in the chain because there is no front sprocket. But whenever I put a new one on, I always just give it a couple spin anyway. Like I said, it helps set it in. Sometimes you'll see the chain adjustment. And being that these are new chains, usually there's a little stretch in the beginning. So after you run them a little bit, double check them.
Hey, come check it out real quick. I got that motor uncovered. Just whenever you get to it,
And then get your slack in your chain set. Like I said, after the first run, I would readjust it, and then there you have it. That's what's changing. The bar and valves, not much to it. Now both of these have dime tips on them. I'm excited to use them. Have some videos of that coming soon.